Hiya, it's Alex, and welcome back to part 2 of Year 2 in EmberClan. If you haven't watched part 1 or the first episode in this series, I recommend you do because I'll be referencing those videos in this one. It's taken me absolutely ages to draw all the cats, so I'm so sorry for the wait. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it. First on the roster is Whisperstar, and she had a rough year this year. Before we get into her story, trigger warning for topics like self-harm, implied self-harm, and mental health issues. Compared to last year when she had everything, a loving mate and a beautiful kitten, now all of that is gone. Thunderfire and Ashpaw both died this year, leaving Whisperstar all alone. She fell into a pretty deep depression after Thunderfur died, losing 2 lives in quick succession, which I think was due to some self-neglect. She kept going for her daughter, knowing she had to stay strong through this for her. However, after her daughter's death to the flash flood, she once again fell into a depression, feeling very alone and empty. Also, she's had to deal with some other things, like a near rebellion in the clan, but we'll get to that later. Whisperstar really hasn't had a good time this year, and honestly, she just needs a hug from someone. I am happy to report that Brookfleck and Rushstalk, our favourite queer couple, are still together. However, both of their kits also died this year, so they haven't been great. Brookfleck had to take over leadership of the clan for a bit during Whisperstar being in the nursery, and again after Thunderfur's death. Then, after Adderpaw died, it affected her character deeply. She used to be a pretty calm and loving cat, but after her daughter's death, she started to be more bitter and snappy, angry at the world because there's no one she can blame her children's deaths on. Rushstalk, meanwhile, has been the best supportive mate to Brookfleck. They've had their own stuff to deal with, of course, because losing a child is never easy, but they've been doing their best to try and stay strong for her. They've also reached elder age, but they're refusing to retire, carrying on for the clan, and have gained the responsible trait. Now to get on to our 3 medicine cats. Firstly, Burnt Lake is still going strong in the medicine den. However, her age is starting to get to her. She's having trouble recalling what certain plants look like, and Heronpaw didn't seem to be willing to learn. After some careful thought, she decided to look for another apprentice. After Adderpaw asking about it and Heronpaw's fight, she decided to let them switch tracks so her apprentice would actually help her. However, since they both died in Leafbear, this was to no avail. After Heronpaw's death, a loner came to the clan and left his 3 kits to them before dying. Burnt Lake jumped at the chance to adopt them, hoping she could fix her mistake with raising her first litter and raise her second right. 3 kittens to replace the 3 angel children she'd lost. That's really all that Burnt Lake's been getting up to this year, but I do think she has one of the best story arcs in the clan, and she's such an interesting character. Medicine cat number 2 is Soft Shatter, a brown tabby she-cat who is wise and has valuable insight. She joined the clan just after the harsh leaf bear when Falling Patch invited her in. She had previously travelled around offering her healing skills in exchange for shelter, and Falling Patch brought her into the clan after knowing that Burnt Lake was getting old with no one to take her place, and that's really all she's done this year. And finally in the medicine den we have Fleck Crash, an unusually spotted white she-cat with yellow eyes. She is compassionate and also has valuable insight. Much like Soft Shatter, she joins the clan after offering herbs and healing in exchange for a nest to sleep in, and the clan gladly accepted, knowing that it's always best to have a lot of medicine cats. Again, she hasn't really done much this year in terms of plot, but she's just a really sweet girl, and I love her. Moving on to the warriors, there are a lot of new faces after last year's deaths. First we have Hollowswipe, an unusually dappled silver and white tom with greeny yellow eyes, and he's another member of what I'm calling the Transgender Ember Club. He's a troublesome and a lore master. Originally a loner, Hollowswipe joined EmberClan and immediately saw the perfect way to cause trouble. One of EmberClan's neighbouring clans, DewClan, has been increasingly hostile towards them and others after some internal power struggles of their own. Hollowswipe, along with some others he's recruited, have been standing against Whisperstar, saying that she's being too kind to them, and they should give as good as they get. He's trying to stir up that rebellion I mentioned earlier within the clan, but it's not really working, and aside from that, he hasn't done much this year. There are a few cats on his side though, including Dusty Claw, a long-furred, speckled golden brown and white she-cat with green eyes. She's daring and a good kit-sitter, and also our first blind cat in the clan. She used to be sighted, and was a kitty pet called Nubby before changing her name when she joined the clan. She was on the patrol where Thunderfur died, and though she didn't die, her eyes were damaged by frost and the snow glare, and she lost her sight completely. She's been adapting pretty well though, even though having to go out with a warrior escort everywhere is bothering her. She's also part of Hollow Swipe's rebellion effort against Whisperstar, and that's Dusty Claw for this year. Here's another new cat. This is Nettle Scratch, a long-furred pale smoke she-cat with blue and yellow eyes who is daring and a good climber. You might recognise her from the community post I put out. She joined the clan on the same moon as the Harsh Leaf Bear with her 3 kits, Milk Kit, Bloom Kit and Hazel Kit. If you've seen the Star Clan video, you'll know that Milk Kit and Hazel Kit didn't survive the Leaf Bear, so Bloom Kit is the only family she has left. She was given her daughter as an apprentice and was incredibly proud to train her as a warrior. Towards the end of this year, she was nearly taken by a hawk and broke her leg in the process, so she is currently in the medicine den. I really hope she gets better, because she has one of my favourite designs to draw and stories. But that's Nettle Scratch for this year. One more new face before we get into some more familiar cats. This is Shellroot, a long-furred, unusually spotted dark brown tom with green eyes. He's charismatic, a fish-like swimmer, and a great healer. He was found by Falling Patch while out on a border patrol and invited into the clan. He has a lot of scars for some reason, so I'm going to say he was part of some sort of rogue group before joining EmberClan. He hasn't really done anything other than that this year, but I do love his design. But yeah, that's Shellroot for this year. Getting into some more familiar faces, Falling Patch is still pretty comfortable doing absolutely nothing. Apart from inviting in a few loners, this year has been very quiet for Falling Patch. He caught Green Cough in the Harsh Leaf Bear, but survived, and also took over the last section of Running Ram's apprenticeship when his previous mentor died. He didn't have any strong reaction to his death in the Flash Flood though. That's really all that happened to Falling Patch this year, and I really hope this boy gets some sort of plot soon. Cream Knight is still around and being slightly less annoying this year. If you've seen my Star Clan video, you'll know that Elmbroch's kit turned out to be his. He begged her to keep it quiet, because the timing meant that he would have had to sneak out to visit her as a loner in order to get her pregnant at that time. It did impact his reputation within the clan, but he's been kissing up to Whisperstar and Brookfleck to try and gain their favour. It might have worked too, as Whisperstar gave him her own daughter as an apprentice, although she did die on the last moon of the year while Cream Knight was stuck in the medicine den after an eagle attack. That's Cream Knight for this year. Burnt Lake's 2 remaining kits are now warriors. Wrencry is still charismatic and is now a great kit-sitter. She's carried on with generally being a menace, fighting Eldertooth when she noticed the she-cat not looking after her kits properly. When her brother Mountain Paw dies, it had a great effect on her, and while she tried to remember her brother in a positive way, she still struggled with grief for many moons. She was named a warrior a moon early and honoured for her good nature. Whisperstar's influence taught her to be less quick to anger, but she does still go off on cats sometimes. She also found a sprig of holly to decorate her fur with. And that's Wrencry for this year. Rabbit Storm grew up and gained the responsible trait, which is perfect for the image of him I had in my head, and he's also now a good fighter. He blamed himself for Mountain Paw's death, as he brought him prey often, and wonders if he could have kept him alive if he'd been more caring. Heron Paw's death only amplified this, and he believed he wasn't a good enough big brother. Since Brushmoss dies in Leaf Bear, he was reapprenticed to Rushstalk. After Burnt Lake adopted 3 new kits, who you'll meet in just a second, he got angry with his mother, accusing her of taking in those kits to replace his dead brothers. He shared these thoughts with Rencry, but she doesn't really agree with his mindset. Due to various injuries and illnesses, he was finally named Rabbitstorm at the age of 16 moons, and honoured for his composure. The last of one Skip's living kits, Posy Shatter, has stayed as a lonesome cat who is a great hunter. He was apprenticed to Dustyclaw and originally felt like being a warrior wasn't the right path for him, but upon seeing what happened to Adderpaw and Heronpaw, he decided to stick with a warrior life. Early on in his apprenticeship, he got into a fight with Bloompaw and lost, though he instinctively went for the kill while she just wanted to defend herself. This prompted some scared looks from the warriors in the clan who remembered one Skip, fearful that his son would grow up to be like him. He didn't do much for the rest of his apprenticeship and was made a warrior at 11 moons old. Whisperstar honoured him for his versatility, and by then most of the clan saw him as a separate cat from his villainous father. In recent moons, however, he's been falling in with Hollowswipe and Dustyclaw, becoming the 3rd member of their rebellion against Whisperstar's leadership. Moving on to the apprentices. This is 12-moon-old Bloompaw, a torty she-cat with emerald eyes who is ambitious. She's Nettle Scratch's daughter and apprentice, and came into the clan with her mother and littermates just before Leaf Bear. Being the only surviving kit of her litter, she has an extremely close relationship with her mother, and when she grew from kit to apprentice, she lost the quiet trait and became confident with words. She wanted to be a great warrior to honour her littermates' memories, and got incredibly angry when Posypaw started to insult them. It escalated to the point of a fight, and Bloompaw won, though she gained a nasty throat scar in the process, which I forgot to draw here, so oops. That's really all she did this year, but yeah, I really like her design, and I think she's really cool. And here are the 3 new Burnt Lake kits. They're all 10 moons old, and once again there's only one girl. First up is Mistlepaw, a calico she-cat with green eyes, who's ambitious and a mossball hunter. She's the runt of her litter and was very smug and condescending as a kit, believing that she knew everything there was to know and even tried to boss the warriors around. Now as Rushstalk's apprentice, that smugness has manifested as a very ambitious streak. She wants to be the best warrior ever, and nothing will stop her from achieving that. After her apprentice ceremony, she started daydreaming about all the things she'd do on her first patrol. Maybe she'd fight off a rogue or catch a huge rabbit, but she just wanted to make her clan proud. I'm sensing this need to be strong as a theme in Burnt Lake's kits, as Rencry was the same, just more angry than condescending, but that's Mistlepaw for this year. Here we go, meet the clan's main character, Guppypaw. He's an unusually spotted brown tom with gold eyes and crow feathers in his fur. He's righteous and a lover of stories. As a kitten, he didn't do much, but he was apprenticed to Rencry and developed a very righteous and high and mighty attitude, in complete contrast to his brother Snailpaw. Despite this, he's caught the attention of one Skip in the Dark Forest, who keeps watching him and keeping track of whatever he's doing. I don't know what's going on, but one Skip had better leave this baby alone. I will fight him if I need to. Guppypaw also heard about a strange prophecy from Burnt Lake, and believed that he was destined to be the cat of legend. If you have any ideas for what this prophecy could be, let me know in the comments, but that's it for Guppypaw this year. Finally, Snailpaw is a speckled brown tom with purple eyes, who's fierce and a mossball hunter, and oh boy, he's scary. As a kit, he was troublesome, always pestering the warriors and dragging his siblings into very deep trouble quite often. Then as an apprentice, he gained the bloodthirsty trait for a few moons, which made the warriors pretty scared to be around him. Though he calmed down to just fierce later on, he's still a cat that not many want to cross. He started a fight with Soft Chatter, a medicine cat, for no reason, and won, and later started another fight with Rushstalk, which he also won. He's scary, and I'm surprised one Skip hasn't taken more of an interest in him, rather than focusing on his goody two-shoes brother Guppypaw. And that's EmberClan for this year. This video took a while to make, so I hope you enjoy. Also, I figured out how to add music, so you're not just sitting there listening to my voice the entire time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!